What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update and related news update. And did you happen to notice that YouTube went completely down last night around the time of our 8 p.m. video? From like 7 to 8 o'clock, at least as early as I caught it, maybe even earlier, YouTube went completely down. Like you literally couldn't even access it. You couldn't watch any videos at all. It was definitely a strange sight. It actually made me think that, yeah, that's just another piece of 2020. Can you imagine if YouTube went down completely? Like you couldn't access it at all for like days or weeks at a time? It's funny how the world has changed. It's almost like people watch YouTube now instead of TV. A lot of people are cutting cable because of the cost of cable when you can get information like this on YouTube for free. And the world is just different now than it was, say, even 10 years ago. But yeah, YouTube was completely down last night, and thankfully it's back up. Hopefully, by the time I post this video, it will still be up. All right, let's jump into some stimulus check news, and my wife is going to be joining me at the end of this video, so don't miss that. And also, don't forget to give this video a like down below. It really helps out our channel. We spent a lot of time doing these videos. It's like a whole entire TV show production here in our home. We have lights, we have cameras, we have editing, we have filming, we have uploading, and it's a whole production. And that doesn't even talk about all the information we have to sift through and bills we have to read and who said what and he said this and all this stuff to bring you guys this information. So thank you guys so much. You guys are just amazing. It feels actually awesome to even have a community of you guys to be able to talk to and to share some of our lives with too. My wife's birthday was yesterday. She'll be joining us at the end of this video to kind of give you guys some details. So first, let me show you some interviews from Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who is the lead Democrat in the Senate, how the Democrats are already trying to push Mitch McConnell, who is the leader of the Republicans in the Senate. And the Senate is going to be very key to what happens with stimulus going forward, as Mitch McConnell, we know, tends to favor skinny packages somewhere around 500 billion to 1 trillion. He has had skinny packages in the past that included stimulus checks, and then he had another one that included the unemployment bonus money, extension money of $300 per week. And the question is, will his next bill have stimulus checks, unemployment checks, or both? And honestly, if he doesn't probably have both, the Democrats will likely not agree to it. And we know that we need both the Democrats and the Republicans to pass these bills, at least at this point. If the Senate does end up becoming a tie on that extra January 5th runoff vote in Georgia, it's currently 50 seats for the Republicans and 48 for the Democrats. If the Democrats win both those seats in Georgia, they will actually have the majority because the tie vote will go to Kamala Harris, the vice president. And the Democrats will then control the House, the Senate, and the presidency unless Donald Trump can overturn 4 different states to win the presidency. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. The Senate is the key, and the Democrats are already trying to push Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to come up to pass a larger stimulus package. Now, honestly, first, before I show you this interview, is that there is enough money. The stimulus checks alone cost about $250 billion for $1,200 stimulus checks and checks for dependents, okay? So there's enough money, even with a $500 billion bill, for stimulus checks, for unemployment, and for targeted money for money for the airlines and maybe even money for schools. You could fit all that in a $500 billion skinny bill. We have heard from Republicans that they would be willing to go up to $1 trillion, okay? This is before, or I'm sorry, this is after the elections now, when the White House wanted 1.9 trillion. So that was kind of like the top number that the White House was willing to go to. So honestly, the bill's going to be somewhere between 500 billion and 1.9 trillion, probably more along the lines of under $1 trillion or maybe $1 trillion. $1 trillion is still a lot of monopoly money. I mean, think about $1 trillion, not $1 billion, not $1 million, $1 trillion. So there's 1,000 millions in 1 billion, and there's 1,000 billions in $1 trillion. So the Democrats say if they do get the Senate, that they're going to pass the largest stimulus bill ever in January, likely $3 trillion. But both the Democrats and the Republicans right now are pro stimulus and want to get stimulus checks out and a stimulus package out now. And then we can see what happens in January of 2021 when new Congress and everything changes hands. Okay, let me show you this clip here to show you what the Democrats are saying right now.
We're in an urgent crisis right now.
Senate Democrats are continuing to push for a comprehensive COVID relief bill.
We have massive increases of COVID cases across the whole country.
New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand says states need money and Americans urgently need unemployment, rental, and food assistance.
We really need relief now. And I think for Mitch McConnell to play politics with people's lives, it's just a shame.
We are looking for a comprehensive bill that meets the needs of America.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says Senate Republicans cannot pretend this pandemic is almost over.
So, pressure is on Republicans to deliver. Leader McConnell and all of my Republican colleagues will have an opportunity to show the American people that they're ready to get to work.
Democrats are pushing for a multi-trillion-dollar package, but Republicans say pandemic relief needs to be targeted and less expensive.
So I think it should be highly targeted, very similar to what I put on the floor both in October and September.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell maintains a multi-trillion-dollar COVID relief package won't make it through the Senate.
It seems to me that snag that hung us up for months is still there.
The back and forth among lawmakers comes as the U.S. broke a record for more than 130,000 new COVID cases on Tuesday. Reporting in Washington, I'm Morgan Wright.
Now, honestly, these guys are going to have to come to a compromise because if Mitch McConnell drafts a bill that doesn't include stimulus checks and an unemployment extension and likely some money for states and cities, which Democrats are desperate for, then Mitch McConnell's not going to get this bill passed because he needs Democratic support. Okay, so and same thing on the other side. If the Democrats try to pass this big bloated bill that's just way too much money for a lot of things that aren't, pandemic related, then the Senate is not going to go for it unless, they get the majority in January. But they're trying to pass this now, and then in January they want to pass another one. So honestly, they're going to need to come to a compromise. We are probably going to see a stimulus bill from Mitch McConnell here very soon because Mitch McConnell just tends to kind of like draft bills on his own. All of a sudden, poof, they just show up within 24 hours. It'll be big breaking news. I'll have all the details for you. And the question is, would have stimulus checks and unemployment, possibly mortgage and rental relief, but it's a smaller bill because honestly, they might not include any money for states and cities there, which would probably be okay for most Americans because most Americans just want the stimulus check and the unemployment. But the problem is that the Democrats won't pass it. Okay. So, and again, I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican. I'm just saying that the Democrats aren't going to pass a small bill and the Republicans don't want to pass too large of a bill. And honestly, I really just wish that they had taken the deal before the election. Of course, we know that everybody had these political agendas before the election. But honestly, I think Donald Trump could have pushed the Republicans to vote yes on that $1.9 trillion bill. If only Nancy Pelosi would have said yes to it, we would have got the stimulus checks out now. There was an unemployment extension in there. There was $10,000 of student loan forgiveness. There was mortgage and rental assistance in there. All that stuff was in that bill, and it was literally this close if Nancy Pelosi would have just said yes. But of course, we know that her own words were she didn't want to pass a stimulus check with the president's name on it before the election. That was the bill to have. It was just so close. It was right there, and they needed to pass it. So now we're going to have to see what happens between Mitch McConnell and the Democrats going forward. Okay, so here she is, the birthday girl. How was your birthday?
It was good.
How does it feel to be another year older?
I don't like it.
I know, if only we could have like reverse birthdays
No.
and just like go back. I was just thinking the other day that like, you can never go back. You can never be younger.
No.
And both me and Laurel have milestone birthdays this year. You can go ahead and tell them how old you were. We had a lot of guesses. I've seen some as high as 50.
terrible. I mean, I hope I would look like this at 50.
I think just a lot of people are joshing around, but go ahead and reveal.
I am the big 3-5.
35.
35.
And if you didn't catch my previous videos, if you haven't been a long-time viewer, you'll know that I'm turning 40 in February. So we have some milestone birthdays going on here in the It's Jimmy household. But yeah, and you know, little 2-year-old Julian, he keeps us very awake in the middle of the night.
Me only,
What?
not you.
Doesn't sound right.
Sometimes he'll be like, I want to go see Daddy. I want to go see Daddy. So we bring him in there, and this one is like delirious, and in the morning doesn't even remember it.
I remember you brought him in the bed the other night, and I was just like, the problem is when you bring him in our bed, he gets so excited. It would be okay if he just like went to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, just, you know, lay down with us. Let's go to sleep. I would like that. But it's more like, hey, let's jump on you and you're a jumping bag and like, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember he came in bed the other night and I was just so delirious. I couldn't even keep my eyes open. I was so tired.
Imagine how I feel every night.
And then we were up talking at 3:30 in the morning last night.
I mean, that's been happening a lot because I feel like we don't have a lot of time during the day to talk to each other about things like that because we're either crazy busy running around making all these videos and then cleaning and doing household chores, and then the times that we're not doing that, we have a screaming 2-year-old while
Well,
we're
plus
just
the
trying to have a
weather.
conversation.
The weather was so nice here in Ohio over the last few days. It was like 75 and sunny
It
like
was
every day.
like a perfect quintessential fall day.
We made it a point to, between videos, to go out every day. And we took him to playgrounds. And I don't even remember where all the places we took him.
We took him to the one Metro Park and
Oh my God. So many slides this week. So many slides.
Yeah. He got his last hurrah in, and now the weather has officially gone in the dumper.
Yeah, the White Walkers are probably on their way to our house right now.
And I told Jimmy I'm secretly happy for the weather to start to get crappy so that I can have like a day of like vegging. Although it won't really be a true vegging day because I have a 2-year-old.
It's more like publish a video and then just sit on the couch. She wants you to just sit on the couch and just do nothing
Yes, I love doing that. I miss it.
for the next 5 hours until the next video.
Exactly. In the meanwhile, I get jumped on 6,000 times by my child. And he likes to do it, especially right after I finish eating. Yeah.
Or right on your kidney.
Oh my God. He was doing that tonight. Help me.
He knows.
I know. As if he didn't cause me enough pain in childbirth. Right? Epidural wouldn't work. Failed 3 times.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
It was horrifying.
Yeah, when you actually gave birth, the epidural wasn't working.
Nope.
So that was a good time.
Yeah, that was really fun. Hello.
I had your sympathy pain, so
Yeah,
I
sure.
could feel
Your sympathy pains
all
while
the-
you were sitting next to me at 2 a.m. eating a buffalo chicken sandwich.
but I had to sleep in that chair. I had to sleep in a chair in the
At least
hospital.
you slept.
And this chair like tries to like fold out into
Listen.
like some like weird like box thing, and I'm like,
I
what?
could have slept good in that.
I had to sleep on that thing for 2 days.
You can be on the bed having the baby then next time. And I'll sleep in the chair eating buffalo chicken. Wafting it over to me while I'm nauseous from the medicines they had me
I would
on.
have gave you a bite.
Oh my God, do you remember when I was puking too?
No,
No?
maybe.
Remember when I got preeclampsia? That was fun too. And
She almost died, actually. I'll tell you this quick story. So when she was giving birth, her blood pressure was like 200 over 150
yeah, it
or
was
210.
not good.
And they induced her, and when she was like ready to give birth, they sent in this like what I call like a SWAT team. That's what they looked like. They were in like hazmat suits, but without the
The
head.
hood?
the hood. And I remember on the insurance bill, that team alone, it was like 7 people came in rushing in case she died, and they had to resuscitate her. And basically, that team alone was like over $10,000 in insurance. Now, of course, the insurance paid for it minus our huge, massive deductible that we have to pay, but that team alone was like $10,000. I think the birth and everything was like $40,000.
Yeah, I've been through a lot of medical situations in my life for such a young. Now I know, of course, I could have it worse. You could have it better, but I've definitely had my share of medical situations. But no, I was talking about when they gave me the magnesium at like 2 a.m. That stuff made me puke. That was fun. So I had that on top of regular labor
And-
pains and epidural failing.
And you couldn't get out of bed, and you couldn't see.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah, we don't want to go into all that. That was not a fun time.
I don't know. How did we get. You went into this, right? Right? It was her.
It was me.
But yeah, the moral of the story is there's always somebody with it worse than you. There might be some people with it better than you. You just got to enjoy your life. Try to
And
live
be
your
kind.
life.
And
Yeah.
be kind, because you never know what someone else is going through, what hardships they're facing, what trials they're going through.
And honestly, you only have one life to live. So enjoy it. Spend time with your sons and daughters and your parents and your grandparents. And, just try to, enjoy life. Spend time with your loved ones, because, you're going to blink an eye and it's going to all be over one day. And, your loved ones aren't going to be there. So the moral of the story is, like our sign says in the back there, have hope. Be kind to others, enjoy life. Everybody's going through hardships at one point or another. Just try to, enjoy life, and you only got one life to live.
Make the best out of what you got.
Yeah.
And if you're in a storm right now, that there's always a rainbow on the other side.
I like that. Maybe that'll be our next sign.
Mm-hmm.
Can we fit rainbow on that sign?
I mean, just rainbow, yeah, but nothing else on it.
Well, you'll have to see for the
8
next
letters
video.
is the max.
So anyways, thank you for being a part of our YouTube family.
And thank you so much for all the birthday wishes.
Oh, yeah. There was like 4,000 comments on that video. Now, not all of them were birthday wishes, but you got a lot of happy birthday wishes.
Like I said, thank you so much. I appreciate it very much.
See, you're the most popular girl in our house right now.
I don't know, Lily might be more popular than me.
Anyways, thanks for being a part of our family. If you haven't joined our family yet, subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos. You can click on this top video here to watch our newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. We have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 job, and we teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and we will see you in the next video.